Okay, hi everyone. This is our first coronavirus video, which has been suggested that we take the stamping platform class and place it online. So that's what I'm doing. We're using the Tim Holtz Stamping platform, and I'm going to combine that with the Misti corners. I've designed a graph and laminated it that goes inside my Tim Holtz stamping platform. It measures 8 by 8 inches. It's laminated so we can wipe it clean, plain on one side and the graph on the other. It helps you line things up, and I just leave it inside my stamping platform. Now the other thing I'm using is the Misti corners, which is designed to go with the Misti stamping platform, but I'm going to use them alongside my Tim Holtz one. It comes with 2 triangles, the L ruler and the magnetic corners. And I keep all mine just inside the box, and this is how they arrive. You just pop them out of their little protective case. The 2 little corners have 3 magnets on each, and then the ruler and triangles are just plastic and see-through. I'm just going to pop those over to one side as we start doing our tutorial. Now, sometimes you get these really nice stamp sets and it has lots of greetings and the word you, which can also be die cut. Now, I do think the manufacturers have made a mistake in designing their die cut in the fact that it's not see-through. So how can you stamp and then place it over correctly to cut out? It is possible, but tricky. So this is one of my ideas. You die cut your U, or whatever word you are using, into a scrap piece of card. And then I've also die cut them several times. I'm placing my scrap piece of card with my die cut out into my stamping platform and securing with my 2 magnets. I'm then going to take my stamp and place it inside my die cut. This is a little tricky and it keeps popping out and won't quite behave itself, obviously, while you're on video. So it just takes a bit of time, bit of patience to get it in there, lining it up. Is that bottom part keeps popping out. Flipping over my lid of my stamping platform to secure it in place. There we go. And then I'm taking one of my die cuts and placing it into the space. Going to ink up my stamp and then flip it over to stamp my die cut. This is so much easier than stamping and then trying to lay your die cut on top, securing it with a piece of tape and then running it through your stamping platform. This is a much easier and quicker way to do it. And obviously you can do these in bulk. So you can prepare ahead for all your Christmas cards, something like that, or stamps, gift sets. You can do multiple cards really quick, really easily. Now I'm just using black or New ink today, it doesn't matter. This is just for demonstration purposes. And it works on most cardstock. A little bit thicker, sort of a 180 plus. Otherwise the die cuts do tend to pop out if the cardstock is too thin. But look how quick and easy. If you did it the other way with stamping and then placing your die over the top, you've got to run that through your machine every time, getting it into position over and over again. But we've just stamped multiple greetings. Really quick, really easy way to do these. The Autonu do quite a few of these greeting sets, as do the other companies, Lawn Fawn, etc. So I'm just going to show you a different one. This is more of a script font, and this is the word happy. Same again, it's a solid die cut, so it's really tricky to stamp that intricate script design. The noise you can hear in the background is the little tappy toes of Bailey, my little dog. So I'm placing my stamp in where I have cut my die out, and then I'm placing the die cuts into the space, inking up my stamp, and then stamping down. Lots and lots of multiple stamping. A really, really quick way to stamp up your greetings. And then you can stamp your word birthday directly onto your card and have all these die cut ready, and stamp happy birthday and add your happy above the stamped birthday. A little bit of silicone adds a bit of dimension to your card as well. And for all those of you who are self-isolating at the moment, a great way to build up your stock. And we can all be online, we can all be together, connecting classrooms and connecting our chat rooms, and generally keep each other busy and keep everybody's spirits up. Now the next one I'm going to show you is using the ruler from the Misti Corners set. And it's a great way to align your stamps and greetings up. Also getting things straight. There's nothing more frustrating than having your lovely cardstock all set straight in your stamping platform and then having to guess where your stamp goes. So we're putting our magnets on our piece of cardstock. This is a 6x6 piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to place my ruler on. And this is one of Claire Designs, I believe, stamps. Little Claire's, that's right, Little Claire's stamp sets. So this is the 3 beach houses, and I'm setting that on top of my ruler. And I know it's straight. It's a 6x6 piece of cardstock. I put my little hut, the centre point at 3. And then I can get my greeting stamped underneath. Now what I can't do here is I can't move the ruler further down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my cardstock further up. So then I can place my stamp where I want it to be. So I'm just positioning that over tight to the side, taking my ruler down, putting my stamp at that 3-inch mark so I know it's in the centre. Yep, spot the mistake there, I left the beach stamp on. But I know it's straight, I know it's in line. There's no looking at it and second guessing. Everything is straight, everything is central, and everything is lined up lovely. A really, really good tool to have. The next thing I'm going to show you is corner stamping. Now we can stamp a really nice greeting on the corner of our card. I'm using slightly larger cardstock because I'm going to crop this down. But I've got one of the triangles lined up along the bottom of my stamping platform, and then one of the magnetic corners positioned on top of that. I'm going to stamp my greeting along the top of that corner, so I know it's straight because I've got those two pieces in place. I'm going to take some of the ink off of that because I'm going to reposition that stamp. So I'm going to reposition it down the side of my magnetic corner. Sticking it to the flip over on my platform, inking it up, and then stamping that down the side. So we can create corner stamping. You can trim that up nicely into a nice 5x5, 6x6 card. All different greetings. You could have happy along the top, birthday along the side, and then you could turn your cardstock around, do exactly the same again, and have it in the opposite corner, or obviously to all four corners. A really good idea if your card is quite plain and you want to add a greeting, but you don't really want to stamp and cut that greeting out, or stamp direct onto your card anywhere. It's a good, useful way of creating just a little bit of artistic flair to your card. And now we're going to do some diagonal stamping. So we're just putting our cardstock down, securing with our magnets. And then I'm using one of the triangles. So I'm placing my triangle in the bottom left corner. And it's also quite tricky to get these longer greetings. We're still using Little Claire's stamps. And she does some lovely greetings, and they're quite long, and it's quite difficult to get those straight. But with our corner, not only can we get them straight, we could use our ruler, but we're also using that triangle. I'm going to pop the triangle away now that I've secured my stamp, and I'm just inking it up, flipping it over, and then we have our own unique diagonal greeting on our card. Now we can pop some little die cut flowers under that, embellishments, decoupage, anything. So now I'm going to show you a bit of greeting stamping using the ruler. So I've placed my piece of cardstock higher up in my stamping platform, and I've positioned my ruler. I'm going to take one of the Little Claire's stamps and pop that on top of my ruler. Now I know this is straight across my card. Flipping the top over, sticking my stamp on, inking up, and then stamping down. Now the ruler gives us a chance to use multiple greetings across our cardstock. So I'm just going to move the ruler up 1/2 inch and place my greeting slightly over to one side, and then stamp it again. Now this would be great if you used a really soft ink, and you could have your background greeting all over your cardstock coming off the page, a really random background. This works great for clean and simple cards. And you could have multiple different greetings across your background. So like all different wedding words, your vows, something like that in the background. And then put your picture, your wedding card on top of that. But it gives us a chance to put all of our greetings nice and straight across there. Now I'm just going to clean this off a little bit. So I've placed my 2 magnetic corners into the bottom left of the stamping platform, because sometimes it's really hard to stamp on the bottom edge or off the side of our cardstock, and these 2 small corners put together enable us to move our cardstock straight, level and up a bit further into our stamping area. Now I'm using an Autonu stamp set that was sent to me free, which is handmade by, and I'm just inking that up. There's no design here, I'm just demonstrating to you what can be done with these corners. So that stamp at the bottom we wouldn't have been able to do on the bottom of our cardstock before, because it would have caught on that bottom edge. We wouldn't be able to stamp off the bottom edge of our cardstock. You can also rotate your cardstock and stamp in all the other corners and edges as well. Thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you get some useful tips from your stamping platform. We are Susie Q Crafts over on Facebook, and you can also hit the subscribe button on YouTube to follow all of our other videos that are on here. We have some for backgrounds, and also Dr. Digi House of Stamps. So if you enjoy those, please leave us a comment, and if you'd like more, please shout for what you would like. Happy crafting!